We know attacking a car with an umbrella isn't a good look for anyone, but the documentary Britney Spears' Breaking Point reveals why this star's breakdown was even worse than we thought.
This entertainment business has not affected me really at all. I'm still the same Britney.
Everyone knows Britney Spears didn't exactly have a glamorous childhood, but her family's struggles went far beyond the financial. Her father, Jamie Spears, had a drinking problem and would often take out his anger on his family, particularly his wife, Lynn Spears. Her aunt Chandra believes the constant fighting between her parents caused Britney to become a quiet and withdrawn child, but all of that changed when Britney got on stage. She grew up singing in the church choir, and her parents used what little money they had to pay for voice lessons. From a very early age, it was apparent she had an incredible talent, and she also had two parents eager for her to hit it big in the entertainment industry, and they weren't waiting around. In fact, the first time she auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club at the age of 8, she was rejected for being too young. But far from being deterred, Lynn moved Britney to New York City and started signing her up for any gig she could get. She appeared in commercials and on Star Search before finally making it onto the Mickey Mouse Club at age 12. It may have taken a while, but at least she was in good company. Did some of those kids look familiar? That's because you just saw Justin Timberlake, Carrie Russell, Christina Aguilera, and Ryan Gosling.
It was probably one of the most special times in my life as a Mickey Mouse Club.
In the early days of her singing career, she was opening for NSYNC, but before long, her first album, Baby One More Time, was a huge hit and everyone was talking about Britney. Or at least who they thought Britney was. When she released her first album, she was only 17 and has since admitted that her image was constructed to sell a product, and that product was her. While it was undeniably effective, it definitely took a toll. At one point, Britney admitted that even she was tired of seeing her face everywhere. She was desperate to get a break, but her schedule was so busy she only had a single hour of quiet time per day. And yes, that hour was also scheduled. Even though she was an adult, Britney had to sneak out of the studio just to do simple things like grab some Starbucks or pump her own gas.
Stop it! Leave me alone!
And that's if she could avoid the paparazzi.
I think 90% of the world would agree that the tabloids have kind of gone a little far with me lately.
Even though she had a level of fame most people can only dream of, Britney wanted something more: love. Questionable denim outfits aside, everyone thought she and Justin Timberlake were the perfect couple, including Britney. She was looking forward to settling down and getting married, but Justin had other ideas. He said they were just too young to make it work, but his song Cry Me a River told a different story. He wrote it just a few hours after their breakup, and it implied Britney had been unfaithful during their relationship. However, Britney denies this and says it just added an extra helping of hurt on top of a bad breakup. Other than Cry Me a River, Justin has only good things to say about his ex.
She has a huge heart and she is a great person.
She wrote her own breakup song Every Time in response, but Britney was still looking for love, which led to a quick 55-hour-long marriage to her childhood friend, Jason Alexander. According to Jason, there was a bit of alcohol involved, but her family's attorney Leon Gladstone says her split with Justin kicked off a downward spiral that only got worse.
Ew, I'm embarrassed. Can we stop?
Suddenly, Britney was pushing her family away and got married again, this time to Kevin Federline, with whom she would go on to have 2 children, Sean and Jaden. They got married in 2004 when Britney was 22. There was speculation at the time that she got together with Kevin to make Justin jealous, since he had once worked as his backup dancer.
Kevin, where's the baby?
But even though Britney loved being a mother, her parenting skills were constantly called into question, especially when she was caught driving with baby Sean on her lap.
I did it with my dad. I'd sit in his lap and I'd drive. We're country.
In 2006, she filed for divorce and was constantly seen partying with pals like Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan. It may have looked like she was having fun, but the reality was that this star was totally out of control. Britney checked into Crossroads Center rehab facility in 2007, only to check out a day later and shave her head in a very public fashion.
She said, I want to shave my hair off. I said, no, you don't. She said, oh, yes, I do.
Everyone wanted to know what prompted her surprising behavior, but few realized it was indicative of a serious issue.
Why'd you cut your hair like that? Stay left, please.
Now, there are a lot of different sides to this story, which continued with a few more trips to rehab for Britney. Sam Lutfi, a man who claimed to be her manager, says he was only doing what he could to protect the star who was suffering from serious addiction issues. Attorney Leon Gladstone says Sam admitted to crushing up medication and hiding it in her food because it was the only way he could get her to take it. According to Sam and her former bodyguard Tony Barreto, Britney was using illegal substances and they were trying to do what they could to help her. But her parents say that Sam and her bodyguards were providing her with substances to keep her under their control. They also accuse them of tipping off the paparazzi and generating the relentless crowd of cameras in order to make money. Oh, and they also said that Sam was never actually her manager. In court, they described him as a parasite who only pretended to be her manager so he could get close to her. There were many serious allegations on both sides, but in the end, Sam got hit with a restraining order, and Jamie was named conservator of Britney and her substantial estate, but her problems were far from over. She lost custody of her sons to her ex, and while she was working to regain visitation rights, her behavior continued to be erratic. In 2008, things came to a head when she refused to return her sons to Kevin when her visitation was over. A spokesperson for the Los Angeles Police Department confirmed that Britney appeared to be under the influence of an unknown substance. She was taken to the hospital and left later in the company of Dr. Phil. No, we're not joking. Her business manager, Lou Taylor, said he betrayed her trust by talking about her to the press. But Dr. Phil says he was only there to help. We'll let you decide if his intentions were altruistic or if this is another example of someone exploiting Britney when she was in desperate need of help. With her dad in charge of her health and finances, things at least appeared to get better for Britney. She went back to work, churning out hit albums and signing on for residency shows in Las Vegas. Her second Las Vegas residency show, Britney Domination, was set to earn her $507,000 for each performance, but that was before her dad got sick. Yes, he is still her conservator after all this time, and even though he's supposed to be responsible for her, that clearly goes both ways. Britney dropped everything to rush to his side, and while his health recovered, the ordeal took a toll on her. According to her manager Larry Rudolph, the effectiveness of Britney's medication had faltered around this time, creating the perfect storm. She was stressed about her father and her medication wasn't helping, so she entered a psychiatric treatment facility until she could get her mental health under control. Over the years, Britney has had to fight for every last moment of visitation with her sons, but now fans wonder if her father will be the reason those visits disappear. Kevin Federline got a restraining order against Jamie on behalf of both himself and his two sons. He claims Sean felt unsafe during an argument with his grandfather and locked himself in a room. While criminal charges won't be filed due to insufficient proof, many wonder if this will impact her conservatorship. In May of 2019, a 37-year-old Britney appeared in court regarding her conservatorship, but the whole thing was kept private. There's speculation that she opted for a quiet meeting with the judge in order to request that her father be permanently removed as her conservator. What we do know is that her dad temporarily stepped down and her care manager, Jody Montgomery, took over the role. The case will resume in January 2020, and many fans find the timing pretty suspicious. That same month, a new LA pop-up experience called The Zone will open, featuring 10 different rooms inspired by her hit singles. Instead of being excited, many fans are actually protesting the event. Under the #FreeBritney banner, these people believe the pop-up is trying to deflect the public's attention away from the conservator case. Tess Barker, who co-hosts the Britney's Gram podcast, points to a time in April of 2019 when Britney openly left a hotel with her boyfriend, Sam Asghari, instead of exiting quietly through a back entrance. She wonders if this was an intentional distraction for Britney's May hearing. And just because this star's life wasn't complicated enough, she also had to go back to court regarding a restraining order against her former manager, Sam Lutfi. Not only did the original order forbid Sam from contacting Britney, but it also covered her parents and sons. But in court, Sam admitted that he contacted Lynn Spears out of concern for her daughter in 2019. Sam called the original order unconstitutional and says Lynn never asked him to stop texting and calling. The judge disagreed with his outlook, and in June 2019, the family was granted a 5-year restraining order against Sam. Don't get us wrong, we love to see Britney doing yoga, but we want to know how she's really doing. She assured fans she'll be back on stage at some point, but it's safe to say most of us are wondering what's going on behind the scenes. What do you think about the story of Britney Spears? Should her father remain as her conservator, or should he stay far away? Let us know what you think in the comment section, and then click subscribe for more videos from The Taco. See you next time.